Welcome to Ghosts of Strategy. In the world of art, body language is a tool to convey emotions. But in the world of espionage, it is a secret weapon. A gesture can conceal a message, a smile can serve as a shield, and a glance can shift the tides. And no one wielded this weapon better than Josephine Baker, the music and espionage legend, who proved that the body can speak truth or hide a lie. Born into poverty in St. Louis in 1906, Baker grew up fatherless in rat-infested shacks. She attended school sporadically and married for the first time at 13. Heavily impacted by America's Jim Crow racial segregation, she left at 19 to perform as a burlesque dancer in Paris theaters, where her bold dances wearing only a string of pearls and a rubber banana skirt made her a sensation of the jazz age. After branching into singing and acting in films, she became Europe's highest-paid performer. A celebrity like Baker was an unlikely spy candidate because she could never move unnoticed, but that's exactly what made her an intriguing one. Her fame would be her cover. Abdi. Her recruiter hoped Baker could use her charm, beauty, and stardom to extract secrets from fawning diplomats at embassy parties. Having found in France the freedom America promised only on paper, Baker agreed to spy for her chosen homeland. "France made me who I am," she told Abdi. "The people of Paris gave me their hearts, and I'm ready to give them my life." The back to Africa taunts she heard from fascists, while performing across Europe, also fueled her decision. "Of course I wanted to do all I could to help France, my adopted homeland," she told Ebony decades later, "but equally important, what drove me as much as patriotism was my deep hatred of discrimination in all its forms." Baker used stardom to gather secrets. Baker began her espionage career by attending diplomatic parties at Italian and Japanese embassies, collecting intelligence on potential Axis involvement in the war. Unafraid of detection, the novice spy scribbled notes on her palms and under her sleeves. "Oh, no one would think I'm a spy." Baker laughed when Abdi warned her of the dangers. In the weeks after German forces invaded France, Baker continued performing nightly in Paris, singing for soldiers on the front lines via radio and comforting refugees in shelters for the homeless. As the invaders approached Paris in early June 1940, Abdi insisted she leave, so Baker packed her belongings, including a gilded piano and a bed once owned by Marie Antoinette, onto a truck and headed to a chateau 300 miles southwest. When Nazis marched down the Champs-Élysées and occupied her Paris home, Baker sheltered refugees and French resistance members at her new residence. In November 1940, Abdi and Baker secretly transported documents to General Charles de Gaulle and the Free French government in exile in London. Under the guise of a South American tour, the performer hid secret photos under her dress and carried sheet music inscribed with details of German activities in France written in invisible ink. All eyes were on the star as they crossed into Spain en route to neutral Portugal, allowing the French security officer posing as Baker's secretary to operate unnoticed by German officials. The spotlight, Baker commanded, let Abdi work in the shadows. In Portugal and Spain, Baker continued gathering intelligence on Axis activities at embassy parties. Slipping into bathrooms, the spy jotted down details and pinned them inside her bra. "My notes would be dangerous if found, but who would dare search Josephine Baker to the skin," she later wrote. "When they asked for my papers, they usually wanted my autograph." Baker spied. Even while ordered to Morocco in January 1941 to establish a communications and intelligence hub in Casablanca, Abdi and Baker sailed across the Mediterranean. The performer brought 28 pieces of luggage, a menagerie of monkeys, mice, and a Great Dane. The more conspicuous Baker's travels, the less suspicion they aroused. In North Africa, she worked with the French Resistance Network and used her connections to secure passports for Jews fleeing Nazi persecution in Eastern Europe until she was hospitalized with peritonitis in June 1941. She underwent multiple surgeries during an 18-month hospital stay, becoming so ill that the Chicago Defender mistakenly published her obituary penned by Langston Hughes. He wrote that Baker was as much a victim of Hitler as the soldiers who fall today in Africa fighting his armies. The Aryans drove Josephine from her beloved Paris. Baker quickly corrected the record. "There's a slight error. I'm much too busy to die," she told the Afro-American. Even as she recovered, espionage continued as American diplomats and French resistance members gathered at her bedside. From her balcony, she watched American troops land in Morocco during Operation Torch in November 1942. After being discharged, Baker visited Allied camps from Algiers to Jerusalem. By day, she rode jeeps across North Africa's scorching deserts. By night, she wrapped herself in blankets and slept on the ground beside her vehicle to avoid mines. When Paris was liberated, Baker returned to her beloved city in October 1944 after 4 years away. Wearing a blue Air Force lieutenant's uniform adorned with gold epaulets, she sat in the back of a car as crowds along the Champs-Élysées showered her with flowers. No longer just a glamorous music hall star, Baker had become a patriotic hero. She donned her uniform again in 1961 to receive 2 of France's highest military honors, the Croix de Guerre and the Legion of Honor, at a ceremony revealing her espionage activities to the world. Tearfully, Baker told her compatriots, "I am proud to be French because this is the only place in the world where I could fulfill my dreams." Josephine Baker's story is a testament to the power of mastering body language. She turned every performance into an intelligence operation. Baker frequently performed at events attended by German officials. With subtle gestures, she drew attention, disarming her targets. At one party, she used a lively dance to approach a German general, and in a fleeting moment, she exchanged a secret message with another spy without anyone in the room noticing. German officers saw only a talented dancer, not a spy on a mission. Even when carrying maps and coded notes, she hid them in her sheet music. Her confident, relaxed body language helped her pass customs checks. When German soldiers demanded to inspect her luggage, Baker showed no fear. She flashed a radiant smile, looked them straight in the eye, and calmly offered her bags. She moved gracefully, rhythmically, as if performing, distracting the inspectors. They saw a proud artist, not a spy, and lowered their guard. Once, when German soldiers suspected her and brought her to a room for questioning, Baker simply laughed charmingly, used direct eye contact, and relaxed gestures to portray herself as harmless. She didn't panic. She sat calmly, crossed her legs naturally, and chatted as if they were mere fans. That confidence made the Germans drop their guard immediately. They missed their chance to catch one of the Resistance's most vital spies. For Josephine Baker, body language was not just part of her art, it was part of her life, a weapon she used to fight and win. How did Josephine Baker master body language so skillfully? She applied psychological principles we can all learn from. Skill 1. The eyes as a tool of control. The eyes are the window to the soul, but for a spy they are a tool for control. Josephine Baker used her gaze deliberately to send messages words couldn't. she employed confident, direct eye contact to inspire trust or a seductive, mysterious glance to disarm others. When passing a checkpoint, she used steady eye contact to signal she had nothing to hide, sending a powerful, psychological message of innocence. Conversely, when extracting information from a German general, she used warm, captivating eyes to draw him in. Skill 2. Posture as a role player. Posture defines how others perceive you. On stage, Baker's powerful, commanding posture showcased confidence and talent. But when needed, she played the carefree artist with a relaxed, almost nonchalant stance. During interrogations, she didn't sit rigidly or tensely. She leaned back slightly as if at home, signaling she felt unthreatened. This posture created a role that her interrogators believed, lowering their suspicions. Skill 3. Gestures and smile as an emotional shield. Baker's natural smile was her shield, turning suspicion into friendliness. A genuine smile can diffuse tension, and she used it masterfully. When questioned, instead of showing fear, she laughed charmingly. Her smile said, "Everything's fine. Why should you worry?" She also used gestures deftly. At customs, her movements were smooth and rhythmic, avoiding nervous habits like clenched fists or lip biting. Her confident gestures convinced inspectors she had nothing to hide. Mélène. Skill 4. The rhythm of movement. When you control rhythm, you control the atmosphere. Baker excelled at this. At customs, she moved rhythmically, leisurely, as if performing, distracting soldiers from their inspections. They saw an artist on her way, not a spy sneaking through. She created a relaxed, confident rhythm that others unconsciously followed, making them feel at ease and more likely to trust her. Josephine Baker's story is not just a legend of art or espionage. It's a profound lesson in self-mastery. In modern life, purposeful body language can help you. In presentations, use eye contact and posture to build trust. Stand tall. Look directly at your audience. In negotiations, control smiles and hand gestures to influence. A confident smile can make others feel at ease. In job interviews, sit steady, use clear gestures, and maintain confident eye contact to project professionalism and reliability. In summary, Josephine Baker was not just an artist, she was a spy with a unique weapon body language. You too can learn to use your body to send messages, control emotions, and grow stronger in any situation. Final question for you. If you had to master one of Josephine Baker's body language skills, which would you choose? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Stay tuned for the next video in the Spy Skills series to uncover more secrets of the espionage world.